An honor and a privilege for me to join you here this morning for the start of the Somali Heritage Week. It is great to see all of you at this groundbreaking cultural event. I say groundbreaking in the sense that it is first of its kind to promote and celebrate the tradition of the Somali people to be held here in our capital city, Nairobi.
My name is Abdi Nasir. I am a lawyer by profession. I'm the founder and the chairman of Northern Advocacy Organization, an organization that advocates for the people of Northern Kenya, as well as people living in Eastleigh, Nairobi. We are part of the organizers of Somali Heritage Week 2016.
The Somali Heritage Week is a cultural festival that is on its second year now. This year we split it into two parts. So we have a workshop component and the 4-day festival. The workshops were engaging over 50 youth, and their objective was to engage with the theme of Somali Heritage Week this year, which is change and how communities adapt to changing circumstances. So we wanted the youth to be able to be catalysts for change and to be positive change makers in their community rather than victims of change. And we wanted them to be able to use creative methods to do that. So our workshops were based in art, cultural crafts, literature, and social media.
We really was so upset about how the youth in Eastleigh have no space. We have seen a lot of the times, you know, Eastleigh is a very populated place, and when you look at it, there is no public library. There is no a place that the kids can play. So we said, let us make us a, you know, from our own responsibility, let us create a space for the community. We wanted to really engage what we are doing in the center to the outside. So we came and we thought about the Heritage Week, and we were so lucky to have Henrik Ball Foundation.
So we did a bit of sketching, then we moved on to canvas, and they worked around the theme of unity, collaboration, cohesion, and we worked through the ideas or things that are affecting them as Somalis living in Kenya, things on religion and police, harassment, where they live, because most of them live in Eastleigh.
So what we've been doing, I've taken them through a process of understanding the technologies behind and the various benefits and downfalls and pitfalls of different social media and how to use them. But also I've tried to help them understand some of the psychology of what makes people change their behaviour and how you work with them and what kind of things you need to post or not post in order to make a campaign work. So what the 16 students, Somali youth students, have been doing is they've come up with their own, about midway through the course, they came up with their own online campaign ideas, and then they've actually been working at it. So they get practical experience of what works, what doesn't work, and how to feed a campaign and how to grow a campaign.
We have learned a lot about how social media work. We realized that there's a shift from the traditional media to the social media, and we have actually, we are so lucky to get a considerable amount of knowledge about how social media works.
Jude was my facilitator. She has been teaching us the techniques on how to run a good campaign, what to look at when choosing a campaign, and she actually taught us a lot of things, and I really enjoyed the session. It was really good.
I'm happy to attend this workshop. I'm learning a lot of things. It was my favorite subject to learn how to make arts.
So it was basically very therapeutic for them, I think, because you could see some of the issues that were very close to them. They were working them out on the canvas. Friendship with no religion. So I think you'd see that later on for their final exhibition, which they'll have. And it's been fun for them. It's been very collaborative. They're working in pairs, they're working in groups. So it's part of like a team building process. And it was really fun. I've had a lot of fun working with them also.
We're holding these workshops for the Somali Heritage Week to train young Somalis from Isili and Somalia on how to produce short fiction. The point is for them, for all the participants, to have a semblance of a short story or a piece of creative writing by the end of the workshop.
I came here today to the Kwani writing workshops for the Somali Heritage Week in a sense to pay it forward. I'm writing, I write poetry and fiction and journalism, and I just wanted to take this time to talk to people who are attending the writing workshop, give them my insights on writing, on kind of what it takes, how to leverage your own experience, and hopefully be inspiring.
And I've learned a lot of things. One of it is that really motivates me is do your things in your own ways, really in your own ways. And today we have met a young Somali author, Idil.
There's no right way to express yourself. There's no wrong way to express yourself.
To me, I was very grateful to meet with her. It was such an inspiration to have a young Somali, a poet, a writer. She really motivates me a lot.
They are waging a war on terror, a war on drugs, a war on crime. But the worst war of all is the one where the battlefield is our mind. Enjoy the workshop, and maybe I'll see you next week to learn about Somali Heritage Week.
We did 4 different workshops. One was in women and culture, and the one you saw, it was that women were doing 4 different things, like doing the weaving, also doing the embroidery, also doing henna design, also doing the hair braiding, also all that, and also beading. All that thing we wanted to empower them, the youth, and then they really get a job to do that. And we are encouraging all women to really make money and empower herself with her own handmade stuff. And then one day we will reach to have our own small industry of Somali women handmade stuff, and then they will really feel uplifting, and they will really make money out of it.
We are learning our culture, our traditional tools to save our culture and to show also in society in the globe that the importance of our culture and our tradition.
Hii kitu inasaidia nini? Mtu kama hajasoma, hajaenda ofisi yake, lazima nipate professional yake ya kufanya kazi.
The purpose of this 4-day festival ideally was to engage with the theme as well, to get influential community members to discuss these topics and to build a platform for youth to engage with topics affecting them in their community.
Somalis are one of the, some of the outstanding citizens of this country. Very loyal, very hardworking, very obedient citizens of this country, and they have really contributed to the progress and development of this country.
The Somali community in Kenya is a combination of Somali Kenyans who've been in Kenya for generations and of a Somali community that has fled war and have fled struggle in their own countries. So the combination of the two groups has really brought about a conversation around identity and understanding that there's Kenyan Somalis and they're part of the fabric that creates Kenya. But there's a new group of Somalis living in Kenya that are also trying to integrate and to live.
Every day, every week, markas tabeecu doonay, every time, every minute, cawa maalin iyo leyl, every year, every place, waqti caadil keenaba. You are in my dictionary calooshaad ku taala. Uhuri uhoreegaya mahantiisu ahamuba. Uhuri uhoreegaya mahantiisu ahamuba. Wardoorka barra ahaadan boqo hortooyada ahaa iskaale. Wardoorka barra ahaadan boqo hortooyada ahaa iskaale. Dalkan Kenya hodhan ahaa dab haldageen. Dalkan Kenya hodhan ahaa dab haldageen. Waqooyi bari Kenya gawahay baan ku beegaya.
Allow aan bidhaansho nuga bi'iyo jeelkee igu baaji ruuxdan. Tusaalaan bixinayaa intii baashi joogtiya garambaar qabo idil. Ila soo burqadayoo haraad ba'ana loo qabay kol haddaad bidhaamiso waad buubi goor qura sida baalaleydii ee inta samada buugtaad ka dulbooday buuraha. Sidaasaan u baahnahay u sugaa bidhaan qurux iyo dowlad barqaba.
Galgabeeday mandheeriya gaharisiya gurya samo wajeer gaafka yaa kugu tuma. Galgabeeday mandheeriya gaharisiya gurya samo wajeer gaafka yaa kugu tuma.
Kedaha dhulkeeniyo eeba dabacsanee dheer tobag soo durdura oo daadiyo ayaaba leh. Degmadaad maaraysaba dareemiyo dirguudka carra gogol ma doonon dulenka qaniine.
We do the Somali Heritage Week to really showcase what we do in the center, like the storytelling, the book fair, the exhibition, the programs that are going on, because we do every month a forum that we talk about one issue, whether it's about the environment or it's about the culture or it's about the politics.
waxaa la sawirdan waxaa la yiraahdaa quraca nabadda waxaa loogu talagalay dib u heshiisiinta iyo wada hadalka ummadda Soomaaliyeed meel walba ay joogto.
We've had authors, we've had journalists, we've had politicians all come together here at Somali Heritage Week to discuss these issues and to create a platform for people to ask them questions and for homegrown solutions, which is really, really what we need as a community in order to allow our heritage and our culture to be a part of Kenya's identity as well.
waxay ugu kalifay waxa ku kalifay dhalinyaro badan oo Soomaaliya oo ay hayaan duruufo dalkoodii oo aan lahayn baasaboor ay adduunka ku maraan. Waxay ugu kalifay in dadkii dibadda joogay hor ay tagay dalalka qurbaha ay iyaga laftarkoodu qurbihii amaanaan oo intii wanaagsaneed ay ka soo qaataan oo ay noo soo bandhigaan. waxay u kaliftay dalkii markuu burburay in dad badan oo qurbaha tagay oo si sharciya ku tagay ay soo biileen dadkii ay ka tageen ee dalka joogay oo iyagu gacanta ay ku hayeen. marka runtii waxa kugu kalifaya waxa weeye sida dadkaas wax u qabsadeen adiguna wax u qabso, laakiin way kala duwan tahay marka aad marayso wadada sharciga ah iyo wadada qayr sharciga.
MSF is here today as doctors and nurses because we are outraged. We are outraged that this decision to close the camp is going to affect hundreds and thousands of lives, leaving them without medical care, when returning to a country which is still a conflict zone. And we are outraged, most importantly, because no other choice is being given to them.
Culture is not only poetry and music, which is very important. It's also ideas. And to some extent, with the gradual stabilization of Somalia, hopefully people can return to their origins much more. Look back to their culture, because the Somalis, you have something unique that no other people, certainly in Africa, have, which is that common culture and bondage that must be cherished.
I think with all of these stories, with all of this rich heritage that you have, it would really be advantageous to work with UNESCO to help protect this, ensure that all of this rich heritage and history is there for future generations.
I think the whole purpose was to define and to remind the Somali Kenyans that you are Kenyans not by default, no? You are Kenyans because you belong here.
All of the 7-8 countries of East Africa have a 30% quota. The two countries that are not going to meet the quota are Kenya and Somalia. Somalia, 13.8%, I think, is the highest ever number of women in Somali parliament. Kenya right now is the highest, 19.1%. Even South Sudan has a higher proportion of women in parliament.
In the 80s and 90s, we decided now as a community to virtually integrate with the rest of the Kenyan communities. And I'm sure the fruits of that serious integration, we say history is history, let us be Kenyans, let us be part of the other 41 communities in our country.
It's really interesting and a very good program because it brought Somalis from not only Kenya, from Somalia, and even non-Somalis, because we're trying to embrace our culture and even create coexistence and unity, to embrace diversity, because Kenya has got 42 tribes. And it's always good to embrace culture and pass a positive message, because it was not only focusing on the cultural aspect, because it had panels that were discussing very, very powerful topic that is really vital at this era and at this time.
This is one way of showcasing and demonstrating to the rest of the world that we also have a good content as opposed to what people have been saying and has been trending.
dhaqanka aad iyo aad ay u fiicnaa alxamdulillah maanta uu noo soo dhamaaday marka waxaan rajeynayaa sanadkan sanadkiisa kale inuu ilaahay na gaarsiiyo allah siiyo.
Assalaamu calaykum waraxmatullaahi wabarakaatuh. Meeshaan waxa waaye waxaan u nimid maanta xamaasadda haysta aad iyo aad ma mali karaysid. Waxaan u nimid hidii dhaqanka Soomaaliyeed baan u nimid aad iyo aad waan faraxsanahay aniga kulli shakhsiyaantayda aniga oo ah alfanaan Lul Sigaale aad baan u faraxsanahay waxaan ku noolnahay magaalada Nairobi.
This year's Heritage Week has been successful because we have had quite a number of participants, including non-Somalis who have arrived and seen our beautiful culture, have seen our elegant heritage, and I am very much confident that what we displayed, the artworks, the storytelling in Somali languages, the books, the literature work in it all will going to shape the history of the Somali community, as well as it will going to change the narrative of the Somali community in this country, because culture and heritage is something that can bring people together.